Hey, we are at the Juniper floor plan for DRB Homes here in Westland Ranch, and we're going to check out this beautiful model and show you everything that you can get and customize in one of these homes. Let's check it out. All right, so you've got this huge porch right away to the entry of the home. And then we were met with this huge hallway here. So you're not gonna feel cramped when you walk into this space. Now, you can see you've got high ceilings. That is an option if you want to do the coffered ceiling as well with any of the recessed paneling. And we've got our first bedroom off to this side. We'll go check a look at that here in a little bit. Then you've got your personal study. This floor plan is just under 2,200 square feet, 4 bedrooms and a study. You've got your utility here, and that's gonna walk you through to the garage. And then as you make your way down this entry hallway, you've got this large island kitchen, huge amount of cabinets here. Now this is an option. You don't have to have it cabineted all the way to the ceiling. And like I said, this is the high ceiling option. So you can have it a little bit lower if that's what you want, but this is a great option in DRB Homes that they allow you to customize ceiling height as well, and the cabinet height. And then you've got a full walk-in pantry on this side. And then I love the island sinks. Island sinks to me, they're really great because when you're doing dishes at the end of the day, it's just as easy, you know, if the kids are at the bar stools or something, just put everything in here. But then you can also be part of the house still. You're not tucked away. And then you've got a stainless steel dishwasher. And you've got your range over here on this side. Now, right on this wall of the cabinets, you have the built-in microwave and an oven. And they have options on different appliances if you want. This cool little LED light that you see is actually a charging station. So you can just set your phone there, get a quick charge, no plugs, no wires, nothing. Right? And I mean, these cabinets, they just blow me away. This is just something you're not gonna see typically in a mid $300,000 to low $400,000 house, is this level of customization and features. So it makes it feel more like a custom home. And that's kind of the point with DRB Homes. If they want you to feel like you have a more custom product, you can choose the colors of those cabinets. You can choose how many of them you want. It's really a great for anybody that likes the custom feel or wants to make the home more of their own. And another thing that I wanted to check out is that this island and the bar, it's not raised up. So really, you know, if you have kids here or something, it's gonna be very easy for them to enjoy breakfast here. And this is kind of the idea with this, is to have this be your little breakfast area. And then you've got your more formal dining area right here. Of course, it's not totally formal, enclosed, because it's more of that open concept style, right? So you've got the family room here, right next to the dining area. And you can obviously fit a lot of furniture in here. Plenty of furniture for a 4-bedroom house. And then here in the back, this is a split floor plan. Split floor plan means that the secondary bedrooms and primary bedroom are in two different hallways. And so this primary suite is all by itself, tucked away in the back of the home. You've got a back door access right there to a covered patio. And then as you walk into the family room, as you walk into the primary bedroom, you can see you've got a ton of space in here. You've got room for a little sitting area with the bay windows. And, you know, if you want to have some private space and it not, you know, be up there in the office or whatever, you want to be a little bit away from the other members of the house to do some reading, look out at the backyard. You know, this is a great spot to do that. Now, another thing is that I wanted to look at is this has recessed lights all the way around, but then you also have got a center of the room fixture, and you can do ceiling fan, you can do a more ornate type of fixture if you want, and then they go all the way to having options where you can do this like wood paneling, and again, that just adds to the overall custom feel. Then you walk over to a double half door here entry that you can leave open to the primary bathroom, which I really like, you know, so you don't have a full swinging door. And then you've actually got separated vanities. You've got you know, sinks on each side. So you've got one that's rather large in case you need a lot of products out on the counter. And then you've got your other one here next to you. And then one thing that a lot of builders will do is they'll actually put the tub and the shower butted up right next to each other, and they'll put the sinks next to each other as well. But I like in this floor plan how they've separated that out so that, you know, if I'm over here getting ready, I don't even worry about that area over there. Same with the bath. It's not next to the shower, but then you've got a nice walk-in shower, lots of space here for getting ready. Then we've actually got a really good size walk-in closet. You do have some built-ins in here. Of course, this can be modified. This is actually where your attic access is going to be. And then we'll go check out the rest of the home. Now, before we get into the secondary bedrooms, I want to go into the office and show you a little bit about the space in the office, because it's really nice to have a home office these days. If you work part-time at home or all the time at home, it's great to have a big space. So they've got the desk here in the center, but you could easily have this separated into two different areas. If you and your spouse or significant other both want an office in here, or if you just need a lot of space. So they've also got these large windows here on the back. You're gonna get plenty of light in here. You've got the decorative fixture in the middle. Of course, you could do a ceiling fan if you want, but then you've also got the recessed lights on the side. So for instance, if you know you want to have a corner desk, you're still going to have light coming down right above you. Tons of light in this place. One other thing I want to show you is I love the double glass doors, so you can get some privacy, but also kind of see what's going on in the house. If you know somebody's running around, you might want to see that, make you feel more like you're at home. And then I think I mentioned already utilities right here. That's also where the garage access is going to be. And then let's go this way, and right off of the kitchen, this is where two of your bedrooms will be in this floor plan. And one of them is right here, directly behind the kitchen, set up perfectly for you know, a little girl to just have her pink dream room. And you know, you've got recessed lights in here as well, and the ornate fixture. You've got a great closet. Then in between those, you've got this great bathroom. You know, you can pick out the types of color you want or countertops that you want in here. You can pick out the tile backsplash you want, the fixtures on the shower, fixtures on the sink. Make it the way that you want for you and your family. And then here's our other bedroom. And these are pretty large bedrooms. These aren't small bedrooms. So this is a queen size bed here, or at least full size bed. And you've still got plenty of room. You could have a desk over here. You've got a dresser behind me. So there's lots of room in here for any kid. And then you've got a really large closet for this secondary bedroom. So we've checked out 3 bedrooms: the primary, the second bedroom, the third bedroom. We've checked out the study, and there's still actually one more bedroom. So The cool thing about this other bedroom is that with this being a 1-story floor plan, you've got a full bathroom here. We'll check out this bathroom before we go into the closet. But I mean, check out the tile. You can get any type of tile that you want here. Color cabinets and countertops, just the same. But you can actually set this up as like maybe a mother-in-law suite or some sort of additional area that maybe that's, you know, for somebody that, you know, you have to take care of or that wants to live in the home. Again, this is a 1-story floor plan, so you are able to have that ability, easy access. This is the bedroom that's closest to the front door. These windows look out the front. So if you don't want your kids up here, you can put them in the bedrooms that we already saw. And then, you know, for that generational living style, you know, mother-in-law or, you know, your mother, father, something like that, they can have a bedroom up here if they need. Or this can be your guest area, right? It's separate away from the other bedrooms. So it's really, when I said a split floor plan earlier, this floor plan is actually split into like 3 different areas. So let's go back in here into the kitchen. And, you know, the great thing about this floor plan, this builder, DRB Homes, is that they're not going to put you into a box where I've got to pick that I want, you know, I want option 1 or option 2 or option A or option B. You go to their design center, they'll let you pick a different flooring for whichever room that you want, whatever color of flooring you want, whatever color of cabinets you want, how many of the cabinets. They'll let you make those structural changes like ceiling height, whether or not you want coffered or recessed ceilings, whether or not you want any wood paneling in any of the rooms. They have different appliance packages, and they really want this to feel like a custom home and have all those options for you. So they're not going to put you into a specific box. They're going to let you really do what you want with the home that is going to be for you and your family. Now, the other thing to add into that I want to bring up is that if you use their preferred lender, they're going to give you $30,000 in flex cash to use towards options and upgrades. At least that's the current incentive. And so I think that this is really a great time to look at getting a semi-custom home, because it's not totally custom because you're not actually designing the floor plan, but it's semi-custom because you're able to pick all of the options and features that fit you and your family's needs. All right, so if you want any more information on this beautiful home, this is the model home, but they have other homes available, or if you want to find out what it would cost you to build from the ground up and pick your own lot, just get in contact with me and my team, and we'll make sure that we get your perfect home the way that you like it. Thanks for checking us out, and we'd love to talk to you soon. Hey, if you're interested in buying a home in League City, we are going to be discussing everything that makes DRB Homes such a great builder for you today, and everything that you're going to love about Westland Ranch, this high amenity community located here in League City. So Alejandra, thanks for having us out. Could you tell me a little bit more about DRB Homes, kind of the name and, you know, y'all's presence here in the area?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for coming. We're happy to have you guys here in our beautiful model home. So DRB in Brightland Homes, we used to be formerly Brightland Homes. We recently transitioned into the DRB name.
Okay.
But essentially, it's still the same team, the same quality, same people, just with a lot more resources and backed up by one of the nation's largest builders.
Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. So Brightland Homes, is there any other builders that were pulled into that?
Yeah, so are you familiar with Guillen Homes?
Yeah, Guillen Homes.
Yes,
okay.
So Guillen Homes was around for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And about 5 years ago, I would say Guillen Homes, along with DRB Homes and a couple other builders across the nation, they were all bought by one big parent company.
Okay.
So for the time being, it made sense having different names all across the nation. Yeah. But then I guess we all came to the conclusion that it's better to just have one name,
Okay.
right? Stronger team. So
Right.
we decided to just go all under the DRB group.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people here in the Houston area, the greater Houston area, they're familiar with Guillen Homes. They're familiar with Brightland Homes. So they could expect probably the same product from DRB Homes.
Oh, absolutely, 1000%. Again, maybe not even the same, maybe probably a better product
Better product.
because
There you go.
it's like I said, same team, same quality, same builder, essentially, just a
Right.
different name
All
that's
right.
backed up with a lot more support.
Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. No, and I think that is just something that, some people, when there's a name change, they're like, well, I've never heard of this builder. Are they some overnight, builder? Is this like a brand new builder? But no, it's a builder that's been around for over 30 years building here in the area. They just have a new name. So a similar product or better product, new
Correct.
name.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yes. It's mainly just the name is new in probably the Houston, Texas market, but it's still backed up by, again, the DRB group, Brightland Homes, same quality as Guillen. So it's just, we're not newer, but better.
All right, I like that. Not newer, but better. So we are in Westland Ranch here in League City. Now, this is the west side of League City, but some people are not familiar with everything that's going on here.
Mhm.
This is what I would consider a high amenity community, which are becoming much more frequent. So, can you talk about why people are choosing to move into Westland Ranch?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the best community in League City. No, I mean, it's a fantastic community. It has a very strong community feel to it.
Right,
Great amenities, great schools. You have the Hayloft, which is our amenity center that I
right.
believe it opened some point in 2025. You have a resort style pool. You have pickleball courts. You have a baseball or wiffle field,
Yeah,
playgrounds, walking trails. Um, the location's pretty convenient too. You have NASA pretty close,
yeah.
the Johnson Space Center, what is it? Galveston Kima. So it's like there's a lot of things to do around as
Right,
well as jobs and um, medical energy. So there's a lot happening within League City. It's
right. Yeah,
growing a lot. So it's the best time to join the west side of League City.
yeah.
Um, because it is expanding, like the city. I don't know where they're finding all these places to keep building, but it keeps growing. So, of course, the sooner that you get in, the better will be
Right,
in the
right.
long
No,
run.
and I love that you mentioned the connectivity. It's very close, about 35 to 40 minutes into downtown, a little bit less if you want to get into the med center or if you are working one of the plants along Galveston Bay. So very close in terms of connection to where you might be working. But then also, I mean, we're only about 30 minutes from the seawall here.
Hmm.
Same for the distance to the Kima Boardwalk. So yeah, that close proximity to all these great things is definitely got to be a draw, I would imagine.
Of
But
course.
you mentioned something about the hayloft, and the people watching are probably not familiar with all of the amenities. So, what exactly is the hayloft?
So it's essentially just like our a rec center for like our residents,
Okay.
where you have, yes, your community center
Right. Okay. So
essentially.
that's where the community center is,
Hmm.
and then are all of the community or all of the amenities there at the hayloft area, or are there amenities anywhere else in the
At
community?
the time, that's where they're located.
Okay.
Um, Not sure if they're planning on adding different. I mean, aside from like all the walking trails that you have all
Right.
around, but they're all like in the same vicinity.
Okay.
But as the community keeps growing, could be possible that they add different or any additional.
Yeah,
Um,
like maybe little playgrounds or something else around.
Correct. Yes.
Right. Probably not going to have other pools
You
going
never
in.
know.
There is still more land in the surrounding area. Do you know why they call it the hayloft at all?
No, please. Do you?
I would just imagine because most of these fields were like hay fields
Yeah.
and pastures. Like, this wasn't really like farmland. in terms of growing crops. It was more of like cow pastures and
Mhm.
things like that. So probably that.
I
you
mean,
know.
yeah, because I mean,
Cows need hay.
and how I like to describe Westland Ranch a little bit, it's kind of like a ranch themed
Right.
serenity mixed with like coastal charm
All
and
right.
like a little bit of like outer space
Yeah.
influence. You know, you have all of that within one neighborhood, basically.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think that that's kind of a good name, Westland Ranch, west side of League City. It's land and ranch, because it was
Hmm.
primarily like cattle
Yeah.
ranches. No, so I think that's pretty fitting. Okay, so I mean, you've got the pool, you've got the wiffle ball courts, or I mean, wiffle ball field,
Pickleball
pickleball
courts,
courts,
the most
playgrounds.
adorable playground for sure.
Yeah,
I wish
extremely
like I
durable.
could like
Kind of makes you
show
want to
it,
be a
yeah,
kid a little bit,
or
right?
like go and like film over there and show it.
Yeah, no, and we're going to show you that because they have an amazing playground for kids, and that's one of the great things is that you're not going to have to leave your community if you want time outside. You can go on the walking trails. You can go and take your kids to this amazing playground that you're going to get to see. And then they've got the community center, which I would imagine that you also probably can reserve some space over there if you want to
Absolutely.
have
Hmm.
events. Right. So yeah, if you wanted to have events or birthday parties or any kind of parties, you can reserve that space and then it's right here in your backyard. So no, I think that, these weren't as common 10, 15, 20 years ago, but neighborhoods like this are becoming a
Yeah,
lot more
and not
common.
all of them have all of these like amenities, you know?
Right.
And it's not like anyone can make use of them. Like you have, especially for like the hayloft, like you have to be a resident to like access and whatnot. And it's also really neat because Westland Ranch is very, again, like I was mentioning, there's a very strong community
Yeah.
feel. And they're very involved with like League City in general. Like residents, they'll get like monthly or seasonal like I guess calendar invites in a way
Yeah.
for like their kids, right? If they want to sign them up for like a soccer team or football team, baseball team, or any events that are going on within like the city, not just Westland Ranch.
Right.
Um, Everyone is very like involved, so there's a lot of options
That's good.
for anything like adults, young adults, kids, families to take advantage of.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
And no, you're right though. That's these things that we talked about with the amenities that are offered here in this community. That's not something that you're going to get in most of these older neighborhoods. Now, those still have an appeal for some people that want to be in those communities. But if you want something that if you have a growing family or you do want to take part in some of the amenities offered, you've got to come and check out Westland Ranch. So no, I really like that you mentioned all of that.
Of course.
Now, I was going to ask, what schools are we actually zoned to here?
CCISD, so Clear
Okay.
Creek IC.
All right,
Mhm.
Clear Creek ISD. Now, do you know where the closest elementary is? There an elementary school in Westland Ranch or Westland Ranch adjacent?
So there will be an actual two schools within
Okay.
the community.
Wow. Yeah.
It's still in the works.
Right. Right.
But it'll be an elementary, and I'll have to get confirmation on the other
Okay.
school, but there will be two schools within the community,
Perfect.
which it makes it even more convenient
Yeah.
for families, right?
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
absolutely. Okay, so planned elementary school here in the community. So, whenever that happens, usually we do see some prices come up. So, if you want to take advantage before that
Sure.
happens, you might want to get in sooner rather than later. Okay, so we've talked about your company, DRB Homes, and the amenities offered in this great neighborhood. What homes do you specifically have available right now in terms of like inventory, what is available, and then also what are our options for building a home?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I'll just add this. I think it's one of the beautiful things of DRB Homes in Westland Ranch is that we offer options for people that need to move 2 weeks ago and people that need to move 2 seasons from now, basically.
Yeah.
So, with our inventory, I currently have 5 one-story homes
Okay.
available. Starting, you have anywhere from like 3 bed, 2 bath to 4 bed, 3 bath in a study.
Okay.
Square foot ranging from the 1850 to the 2200.
Okay.
Now, price wise, you're looking at starting at 375.
Okay.
Up to currently my highest one would be at 409,990.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, those are great prices.
Yeah, we recently just kind of modified our pricing just for the new year.
Right.
Also, being that we're the newest builder with the 50-foot product in the community,
Okay.
so definitely the best time for people to take advantage of
Right.
the pricing, right?
Right. Right.
It's not good. It's not going to last long.
No, no, and I mean inventory homes never last long.
Mhm.
So you have 5 1-stories available, and that's a good thing to mention because sometimes when we talk about inventory and different sizes of the homes, we're not clear on whether or not it's a 1-story, 2-story, and there's a lot of people that would prefer just a more spread out 1-story home versus a 2-story. And these are all on the 50-foot product, you said?
Correct. Yes. So all of our homes in Westland Ranch would be on our 50-foot product.
Okay, great.
I mean,
And
50-foot lot.
yeah, no. So in the 50, when we say 50-foot product, 60-foot product, something like that, we're talking about the lot frontage. So that determines how big the front of the lot is that the home is built on. And that's a good size, lot that you would want for that size home. 1,800 to 2,200 square feet,
Mhm.
3 or 4 bedroom option with the study. I like the study option because there's so many people that are working from home nowadays, or even if they don't work exclusively from home, they want somewhere that they can have some privacy.
Of course.
You know,
A kid's room, a game room.
yeah, absolutely. Well, and, open concepts are great, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I mean, the whole home can't be open. You need
Right.
a little bit of separation in some
Mhm.
areas. So it's great that you have that option for
Yeah, of
people
course.
interested. Do you have any other inventory homes, or is just those 5?
No, currently it's just those.
Okay.
My 2 stories have all been closed by now.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Congratulations to the home buyers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So currently, we only have 1-story options,
Okay.
but it's pretty neat because they're all different. Some of them could be the same floor plan, but they're all structurally different.
All right.
Different um, options and designs, so people who are looking for, again, a 4-bedroom. You have different types of 4 bedrooms that you can
Right.
look into, for
Right. Right.
example. Mhm.
No, that's good. And we'll get a little bit more into like color palettes, like what options are available and stuff. But so all of those homes are available to move in now?
Yesterday, 2 weeks ago.
Yesterday, 2 weeks ago. Perfect.
Yeah, they're completed. Quick move-ins, how we refer to them essentially.
Okay, good. Now, for your ground up construction, how long is it taking if somebody comes in and puts a contract in today? What's it gonna? Is it gonna take 4 months, 6 months? How long are we looking at?
So it can vary. I always like setting just an expectation of 6 months.
Right.
Sometimes it's done sooner, but it's just easier for us to finish sooner, right?
Right.
And not have to like push timelines.
Yeah.
So 6 months probably to be on the safe side.
Okay.
But there's times that it could be done sooner. 4 months, I don't think it would be realistic with our product. So it could be anywhere from the 5 to 6 month
Okay. 5 to 6
time
months.
frame. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it's good for people to know, how long it's going to take to complete it. Of course, weather is a big determining factor here. We have sometimes very rainy winters or summers, and other times we have very dry times. And so, it's hard to predict, especially a coastal community like this,
Mhm.
whether or not we're going to have wet seasons or dry seasons.
Or
But
supply chain delays or
yeah, have y'all seen any supply chain delays recently?
no. No. Things have been pretty steady. I
Yeah,
mean, aside from like you mentioned, like maybe a small like weather delay or
yeah.
whatnot, but nothing detrimental, thankfully.
Yeah, and these homes are built in stages, so depending on what stage it's at and how that weather's operating determines whether or not they're moving to the next stage. Because I'm sure that you want to make sure that you're doing everything right to
Oh,
to
absolutely. I
build the
want
home
to and we
right.
have to, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience about, you know, actually the difference between buying one of your inventory homes and buying one of your ground up lots, you know, a lot that they can choose everything. What are some of the things that people would need to know?
Yeah, of course. And I mean, they're both great options, just depending on what the buyer, whatever fits their needs at the time. With when building from the ground up, you get to pick your floor plan, tailor it your way. There's structural options available per plan
Right.
that the buyer is able to choose if they want to. They can choose their exterior, their elevation, meaning like the face of their home, the brick color, stone,
Right.
everything basically on the outside. They're essentially able to pick. They can pick what lot they want to build on if it's available.
Right.
And then they get to go to our amazing design center where they have tons of options for design features and fixtures like flooring, countertops, hardware. Basically,
Right.
it's probably like a toy store for like homes or design.
Yeah. And so is everything customizable with your builder? Like flooring, countertops, backsplash, any appliances or cabinetry differences? Because I noticed we've got the full ceiling height cabinets here
Yeah,
in this
the
home.
upper stack.
Not every builder's offering that.
Mhm.
So is that something that everybody can pick if they want?
Yeah, of course. And there's, I wouldn't say like everything. Everything is custom, or it's able to be customized. Depends on the plan or what exactly you're trying to customize, or mainly structurally. But with design, yeah, basically your flooring, like you said, backsplash, um, wood floors, tile, ceiling heights, pendant lights, fixtures,
Wow.
type of doors. Basically, I guess maybe not all, but close to all of it. They have options to choose from.
Yeah.
We do have some options that are standard, so they're not required to
Right.
choose everything upgraded if they don't want to. We just like offering the choice for them to not fully customize their home, but at least like semi-custom,
Yeah, they can customize
personalize
most
it.
things. It sounds like. Now, do you have any standard? Now, you talked about kind of like a standard. Do you have your options possibly broken down into any sort of bracket, or is it just like, hey, this is what the home is going to come with at this price? Now you can choose whatever you want to add to or take away from that.
Um,
How do y'all handle that?
a little bit. So the home basically, there's even with what we offer standard or included in the home, it's not just like one type of countertop or one type of flooring. There's not hundreds, but there's maybe like 3 or 4, just depending on the plan
Okay.
or design availability. But they can still pick, like
Okay.
standard wise, they can pick this color flooring or this color type of countertop. So essentially, we try to make it as much as we can so their home won't be like their neighbors,
Right,
basically.
right.
So,
No, I like that. Well, because some of them will be like, "Oh, this is our bronze, this is our gold,
oh,
this is
like
our silver."
packages.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Oh, yeah, no, we don't necessarily like offer. There could be like some like maybe appliance package or maybe some like fixture packages that we could offer. But when it comes to like the design, like colors and countertops, no, we like to let them choose kind of
I
what
like
they
that.
prefer.
Yeah, well, and some people, some builders, they don't really allow you to deviate from the options that they've already chosen. They're like, hey, pick option A, B, or C. But it sounds like one of the good things about DRB Homes is
One
that
of the
if you come
many.
in, you could go in and pick everything that you want exactly the way that you want, and it doesn't have to fit what somebody else has determined
Of
for
course.
you.
Just
I
imagine,
like
let's say
that.
you and I are gonna go buy plan C from some other builder. I'd be both separately, right? I want plan C, you want plan C. Then it turns out that we both want plan B interior package.
Yeah,
We're literally gonna have the same exact home,
yeah.
which is kind of
Yeah, I
weird.
recently was at somebody's home and they were telling me that their friend had bought the exact same home as
That's
them
hilarious.
and the exact same option as them. The only difference was the furniture that they chose to. She was like, well, see, I've got the 75-inch TV and my girlfriend has the 85-inch TV. And I was like, so if I go over there, it's the exact same thing.
That's hilarious.
It was pretty funny. She was kind of mad at her friend a little bit.
Yeah,
She was like,
I would tell me like,
she's like, she came over here, she saw my house, and she's like, I want that. Like,
yeah, that's hilarious.
so she said it's a little weird, like stranger. It's just a little. There's that old show or whatever. Yeah, it was weird walking into a mirror image of your home.
Yeah,
Right.
but I'm sure it happens a lot when packages like that are offered.
Yeah.
Um,
But it seems like it's less frequent here.
oh, it's not free. I mean, unless someone, I mean, that would be a huge coincidence, right?
That
If
would
someone,
be.
like just randomly built exactly the same, just
Yeah.
you know.
Well, some people like to, and you yourself, you may want to have a unique home. And if you want to have a unique home, you can do it with DRB Homes, right? You
Even
can
our
have it.
inventory, it's not built standard. They all have like different upgrades and features. So it's not even like our inventory would look the same to another inventory of ours. So it's pretty neat that we kind of try to make them all unique.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. So one thing that I'd like to talk about is, are there any special incentives for buying one of those inventory homes that maybe is not offered on one of the lots? Or do you have any like financing incentives or any other special incentives for those inventory homes?
Yeah, of course. What do you mean by not offered on one of the lots?
Well, so like sometimes a builder might offer special incentives, financing incentives, and it doesn't have to be specific to inventory or lot in terms of a difference. But do you have any incentives if somebody was to? Do you have a preferred lender, your own lender? How does that work?
Yes, absolutely. Great question. So we, for the most part, try to have incentives and help our buyers, right?
Right.
Like get to or across the finish line. Right now, for my inventory, we're offering a up to 20,000 flex cash incentive.
Okay.
So basically, that's $20,000 that they can use towards the price of the home, towards closing costs or rate buy downs, just a mix of all, kind of however they see fit.
Yeah.
For buyers that are more interested in maybe like a lower monthly payment or like the financing side of things, we also offer rate promos.
Okay.
Or rate incentives, which are significantly lower than the current market rate.
Right.
Just kind of depending on the type of loan or what the buyer's looking for, what option works best for them.
Right. Right.
Now on our build or to be built homes, we offer a 30,000 flex cash incentive.
Okay.
And that's again, that can be used towards upgrades, both structural and or design options.
Right.
Price, closing costs, again, just kind of how they see fit, they're able to use that 30.
Right.
And these incentives are offered when buyers decide to work with our approved lender,
Okay.
which is Brightland Mortgage. Now, they're not obligated to work with our approved lender, but honestly, I always recommended, or it seems to actually make things or the process a lot smoother since, I mean, we're all on the same team and the communication flows a lot better.
Right.
But it's not required. There's some different incentives that we can also offer if they wanted to work with a separate lender.
Right.
So we kind of try to, again, just offer choices to our buyers in terms of everything, really, from the homes to financing and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I love that. And something that a lot of people don't know, may not know if they've never bought new construction, is that you could get that $20,000 or $30,000 by going with the preferred lender here in this situation. So no, I think that's great. I mean, who wouldn't want $30,000 in extra upgrades?
I wouldn't.
I mean, that's $30,000.
Yeah, like imagine you buy a home and let's say you spend $20,000 in upgrades, right?
Yeah.
And a give or take, right? Some people spend a lot more, some people could spend less. But let's say you spend $20,000 with our incentive and you work with our approved lender. It's basically no cost for you, right?
Yeah.
Like you have $10,000 left that you could use for more upgrades if you wanted to, or closing costs.
Yeah.
Or just kind
No,
of like how you see fit.
no, I mean, I think that's great, and trying to make things more affordable nowadays is such an important thing. Even no, this isn't like an affordable. This isn't like affordable living necessarily, or like this is a quality product, but anything to help that buyer to get more, for the same price.
Of course, I
I
mean, they're
think it's
putting
the
huge trust in us, right? It's a huge
yeah.
investment. So we're definitely going to try to accommodate them in whatever ways we can.
No, I love that. And then, so I was going to ask, are there, um, do you have a certain amount of money that, like, say somebody wants to do 60,000 in upgrades to the home? Let's talk about the down payment if somebody does no updates, and then also the down payment if somebody needs, say $60,000 in upgrades on the contract. Can you talk about that a little
Yeah,
bit?
of course, like earnest money type
Yeah,
of
what's
thing.
the earnest money if somebody's doing no upgrades?
So kind of so with our new construction or built from the ground up, earnest money can range depending again on the type of like purchase, if it's with our approved lender, or if it's a cash purchase, or if it's an investment, just depending. It can range anywhere from like 2,500 to 10, maybe 20,000, just kind of. And the 20 is more leaning towards like an investment opportunity.
Okay.
But so let's say someone is working with our approved lender, the earnest money is 2,500,
Okay.
and then there is a 10% deposit of any structural
Changes.
upgrades. Yes.
Okay.
So let's say they did $2,000 in upgrades, structural upgrades,
Right.
then it's 10% of that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's done at the time of contract.
Okay. Perfect.
Now, when they go to the design center, which typically is arranged a couple days, business days after, like 2-3 business days after they sign the contract,
Right.
the design center, and depending on how much they spend there, it's a 25%
Okay.
deposit.
Yeah. No, and 25% is great, because some builders will say they want 50% deposit. So, if we're talking about $60,000 worth of upgrades, then you're only going to have to come up with about $15,000 to put down on that. So you can get into the home for the 2,500 plus the 10% on any structural, and then only an extra 25% of the total upgrades, which I think is fantastic.
But I will say it also has to make sense. Like if you spend 1/3 of the home's price on upgrades, which it's happened,
Yeah.
then there might be like maybe an additional 20%
Okay. Okay.
on top. It just depending on how much upgrades. But typically, I mean, 60 shouldn't be a problem. But again, if you go a little bit over the top and spend again 1/3 or half
Yeah.
of the price on the price of the home on upgrades, then there could be an additional
Okay.
deposit requirement. But standard, it's your earnest money, 10% on structural, and 25 on design.
Okay, perfect. And that you brought up a really good point about, if you go to the design center and you go crazy on options and upgrades, the builder, I imagine the reason you're saying that sometimes they might require an additional amount on top of the 25% is because you might be moving into the area of over improving a property for the overall market value. And so that's something that, I can help to figure out with you whether or not those options and upgrades you're thinking about doing will be able to be recouped if you were to sell the home. Because of course you can spend as much money on you as you want on a house, but you are the ones building it, and it's before you're expected to build it with those options and upgrades as the way that the buyer has chosen.
Of course.
And so if somebody over improves a property, hey, more power to you to make the home as beautiful as you want. But if for some reason you don't close, which
Right,
does
imagine
happen,
they change their mind.
yeah, I mean, sometimes people change their mind. Sometimes people can't sell their existing home, so then they can't buy your home. And then so the builder would be left with all of those options and upgrades that they put into that product. And so that's why they may require a little additional deposit.
Of course.
Just to give you a little bit more context about what she's saying. But
Yeah.
no, I still think that threshold at 25%, as long as it falls within a certain range of the home's overall value, I think that's great, because some are asking for 50%.
Yeah.
And to put all that money down on these options and upgrades sometimes can be a little bit tight for people
And
when we're
stressful.
talking about a home that's not going to be complete for 6 months. Right.
For sure.
So, I mean, and people are still going to have to sell their house. You still may have a house yourself to sell, and we've got to go through the process of getting that sold so you can buy one of your beautiful DRB homes.
Yeah, and honestly, it's also, I mean, we're there with our home buyers the entire way, right? So if they're going to go to the design center and spend a lot more than they should, I mean, they have my support, your support, even the lender support, or kind of like advice. At the end of the day, I mean, it's their decision, but we're also here to like kind of try to advise them if we think it might be a good idea or not a good idea. So especially if it's their first time building, right? So they might be like, oh, I want to add everything. But then that's kind of like where we come in and we're like, wait, we don't know if it's a good idea. We don't think it's a good idea. You can give them like your market experience or not, give mine. Same with the lender.
Yeah.
So we kind of work together to make sure the home buyer's interest is like the number one priority, basically.
Yeah. No, I love that. And thanks for wrapping that up perfectly. And so this is exactly why you should choose a great agent like myself and me and my team to help you, because we can actually help to streamline this whole process with the builder. I mean, Alejandra is the expert for everything DRB Homes, and then I'm going to be your expert to make sure that everything makes sense for you, including whether or not you are going to resell this home at some point, because the fact is that most people do end up selling a home about every 7 to 10 years. And so we want to make sure that we position ourselves correctly, not just now, but for good long-term financial decisions. And then so DRB Homes, some people don't understand how the relationship between builder and agent works. So have y'all already agreed to cover the commission that we're asking?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, we love you guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, and we truly appreciate like the relationships. So we definitely want to make sure that you guys are taken care of, because we wouldn't be able to do this without y'all.
Well, thank you.
Of course.
And so that means you get full representation, no extra out-of-pocket costs. You have 2 great people helping you to make sure that whether or not you're selling a home and then buying one of her homes, or you just need to discuss anything about the market, the finances, taxes, insurance, we can handle everything for you working together. And so I love that. And thank you so much. I appreciate working with a great builder like DRB Homes. And in that way, there's no out-of-pocket cost to you to use our services. Thank you so much for watching this interview with Alejandra here at DRB Homes. I appreciate you having us out.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming. I look forward to working with you, and to anyone that's interested in our beautiful community here in Westland Ranch and our product. We're more than happy to help you and your family get into a home. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alejandra, you work here in one of my personal favorite neighborhoods in League City, Texas. I'm obsessed with the hayloft. And I don't know, whenever I drive by it, I'm like, this just feels like Texas.
You're not the only one.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
The little tractor outside.
Yes.
Yeah,
the silo, all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just obsessed with it. Every time I get like drone shots over it, I'm like, this is perfect.
Yeah, I agree. The entire community though, right?
Yeah.
Feel.
Definitely. No, it's pretty out here. How long have you been in new construction?
I've been in new construction. I'm going in 7 years. I feel like you just lose track of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, right about that time.
Sure.
Still under the decade.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. How long have you been with DRB Homes in particular?
With DRB Homes, I've been with for about 6 months.
Okay.
And it's been probably one of the best builders that I've been with this far. So it's been a great change, honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome. What do you feel like they do differently than some of the other people you've worked for in the past?
A lot of things, honestly, when it comes to and everything from like the build, the quality, um, everything that's put into the homes to management team, like communications with construction, the way we treat each other, we treat our buyers, clients, or agents. It's just overall a much more, I would say, smarter, but also friendlier
Sure.
way with the quality and um, just a lot of support from every way.
Oh, that's
So,
good. Yeah, we decided to start a team mostly just to have that support system because it's so hard just to do everything yourself between,
right?
lead generation, prospecting, between trying to like, film your content, keep up with your day to day, manage your life on top of all that. And,
Of course, like we only
so
have only 24 hours a day.
exactly. So that's great that y'all have that support.
Mhm.
How have you seen the industry change since you've been in it in the last 7 years?
I mean, there's been so many changes, right? From pricing, up, down, rates,
Yeah,
right?
big time.
So, and I just think like with the market in general, there's always going to be changes. Um, the one thing that I do see that typically stays constant is, I mean, the demand for homes.
Yeah.
People need homes, although maybe there's some difficulty sometimes with pricing or again rates or the market, but that need for a home is kind of always there. And then prices going up, that's kind of something that changes, but just they tend to go up. But other than that, I mean, it's hard to like pinpoint one thing. Just like in the past, like 7 years, so much has happened, and probably will continue to happen. It's just part of like life in the market, right? For it to change constantly. But the sooner one takes advantage of the opportunities, the better it'll be.
Definitely. Yeah, I know I've seen so many reports coming out about affordability, so I'm glad to see, whether you agree with the current administration or not, different story, but I'm really glad to see that they're trying to take so many proactive changes to bring affordability back to the consumer.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, a big thing with DRB Homes is that we don't just try to like focus on like the price, or like we definitely want to make it affordable, but we also want to just make it livable, right?
Definitely.
We want the space to be a livable space in all like the extent of the word, essentially.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Especially, it seems like a lot of your inventory right now are like the 50-foot product, which I love because we go to so many home builders where they'd only have like 70-foot product available. And we're like, that's great, but not everybody wants a McMansion.
Right,
They want
right,
like
for
an
sure.
affordable house more than they want like a 4,500 square foot house. So it's
For
like
sure.
give something that people want. I feel like affordable housing, or even a house that's just not overly huge for no reason.
Yeah,
That
and
is
I mean,
something that
we
people
can
need.
offer like options, like if they want something smaller, we can have like our 1850s or smallest one, but if they want
Sure.
something bigger, up to like 3,000. So just kind of again making sure we have options
Yeah.
for buyers, but yeah.
Yeah, y'all are right there in the sweet spot. So
The sweetest spot, yeah.
Yeah. So what made you want to take the leap into new construction? What kind of got you like inspired to be in the industry?
So my family was kind of in real estate here and there since I was younger. So I kind of always had like a liking for real estate. My brother, one of my older brothers, he started in new home sales. He was like over a decade ago.
Yeah.
And he just seemed, and my brother was like not the most like outgoing person, or not outgoing, but he was more serious. But then I would kind of like see him like at work or whatnot, and he just looked happy, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe stressed at times, but nothing out of the ordinary. Um, and I got to meet more people in the industry, And it just, I feel like for the most part, everyone is like willing to be like a team player, and just it's kind of a positive environment.
Definitely.
At least like from my experience. So I was like, okay, well, let me try that out. And then here I am.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I love it.
brother.
I love it. There's something to be said about like living a life where you just feel happy and kind of light about like, we talk about that sometimes, like with like some of my friends, they like, yeah, they're making a killing and I'm like, that's great and all, but like you don't want to go to work.
For sure.
Like we can make a really great life here. And I'm like, I get up and like I want to do this.
For
And I
sure.
get excited about the
Of
idea of doing
course.
it.
And like doing like there's days that like I might feel tired or whatnot, but overall, like when people ask me, I feel lucky
Right.
and I'm genuine. I'm like, I really do love what I do. I love real estate, but I love like new home sales.
Definitely. No, it's fun. Everything in here is shiny and pretty, and there's no like pet hair on the floor, and
you'd be surprised. People sometimes bring their pets.
Yeah,
So.
I'm just talking about like when we tour resale homes,
Yeah,
like some of the stuff we see, we're like,
you'll be
whoa,
surprised. Not every builder upkeeps their models.
really? I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe just because I'm picky, but like, yeah, sometimes like you open a drawer and it's like, what's that?
They just don't do it by your standards. It's what
the standards overall.
Yeah. No, you should.
I mean, it's first impressions, right?
Exactly. So. Yeah, it's like if I go to buy a new car, like I don't want mud to be in the,
right, or like the toilet seats,
right?
Like.
So was it your brother that inspired you to get into new construction?
I don't want to give him all the credit.
Yeah.
He played a part.
I wish my brother would get into new construction. I'm trying to get him into real estate. So
let's do it.
If you're watching this, do it.
I'll train you.
Exactly. Yeah. You got a job lined up. Let's go. So what's the day in life like for you?
Oh, I wish I had one type of day.
Right.
I mean, I think the typical things is just waking up, right? Obviously. Coming to work, but I kind of started working before coming in, calling, depending on what I'm working, the families or buyers that I'm helping. But it's kind of like a 24/7 thing, but not that it's like demanding. I enjoy working maybe more hours than others. But it's a lot of like talking to people, whether it's talking to, let's say, my family, right? Then it's my manager, my builders, my home buyers, my lenders. So it's a lot of calling, follow-ups. When I have my downtime, I like to kind of check in and see how other communities are doing or other builders are doing, just to see kind of where I could be doing better. But it's hard to like kind of plan like, oh, today I'm going to do this and then tomorrow I'm going to do this, because dealing with like, or people coming in. So there's just so many different things that can happen in an hour.
Right.
That it's hard to like have a routine or like a typical day. But if I could describe it in a couple words, it'd probably just be like dealing with people most of the day.
Yeah. I like that you bring up that you call other builders to see how they're doing, in their communities. With that, like, what are some of the common problems you see these other builders deal with, or other sales reps, or, just people in the new construction industry?
Yeah, I mean, I think in a way we kind of all deal with like our own problems, right? I think, in my opinion, the other builders or salespeople that probably struggle the most, and this is just kind of my opinion, right? And also depends on circumstances, but it's probably just their attitude towards selling or like helping buyers. A lot of, from my experience, I've seen like if you're in this industry, I would think maybe it's similar in real estate or as an agent, but if your focus is to just make a good financial living, you might not be as successful, because you also have to care for your people. Some people just think it's like, oh, once someone comes in and they buy, then that's it. I'm not going to call them.
Right.
Like, not even if they're still under contract kind of thing, right? It's just like out of sight, out of mind. And I think that can cause a lot of issues in the future for that builder or that salesperson, just not being essentially accountable with, or having that communication with their clients or buyers. I think that's a big thing that I see a lot.
Yeah.
That people just don't really care.
Oh, yeah. That would, I don't know, that kind of drives me crazy. You know, with any sales job, you know, you can't just treat it like a job. Like you got to be passionate with it to some extent.
Hmm.
You know, like with real estate, love real estate to death, but it can be stressful.
For sure.
You
For
know,
sure.
and I'm like, I can't imagine doing this if I wasn't passionate about it.
For sure.
You know, if I wasn't passionate about helping people make one of the biggest like financial like choices in their life, you know, or helping them find the dream home that's going to like best serve their family and that they're going to be happy in. And I don't know, even with new construction, like especially because are y'all W-2 or 1099?
W-2.
Yeah, so like I
But it
could,
depends. Some builders could be different. With DRB
yeah,
Homes, we are W-2.
yeah. So like I couldn't imagine working a W-2 job like you know, especially in something like sales where it's, you know, not low stress, but it's
I
not,
mean, we're
you know, super
W-2,
high
but it's still
either.
commission, so I don't know how they do that.
Sure, sure. But I mean, I just couldn't imagine doing it if I wasn't passionate about it.
Right,
You
for
know, if like
sure.
if I'm gonna sell cars because I love that car so much, like I want people to share
Yeah,
that experience.
absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna sell houses, like I want to help them in the highest capacity
And,
possible.
right? And also thinking about it, like maybe it's not like best explanation, but I love shoes, for example, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you can buy a real expensive pair of shoes, right? Very, very expensive. But when you're buying a home and you're not buying a pair of shoes, even if you're buying the most expensive shoes, right?
right.
Like it's a pretty big investment, and it doesn't have to mean that, or it doesn't have to be your first home for it to be so meaningful, right? It could be your fifth home. You could be downsizing, relocating,
Right.
whatever it is, right? It's still a big investment. So I think it should be taken seriously, right?
Definitely.
Or it deserves that, what is it? Tender care, loving, or what is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. We'll just go back to passion. Yeah. Careful with the shoe analogy. I think my wife watches this show. She's gonna come home with a pair of red bottoms and be like, "Well, she said it was a great investment."
Right?
Yeah. That's
Ladies,
funny.
you're welcome.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, what are the most common objections you're seeing from buyers right now?
So currently, I mean, it's been pretty busy, thankfully, and just people that I've seen lately, there's like plenty of them have strong potential or willingness to move forward. There's just no sense of urgency right now, and it's mainly for builds.
Yeah.
So it's just still trying to find a way of finding how to overcome that objection, because I mean, there's truly, and at times they might say like there's no urgency, but then the further you dig, then you find that massive red urgency right there, right?
Right.
But with all of them, there's really just no urgency. So it's just um, trying to navigate or trying to see what else I can learn to be able to overcome. Because in this business, like you'll see different. You might think you know everything, or you've seen everything, and then something happens or things change that
Definitely.
you're not prepared to. So it's just finding a way to learn, or maybe get a refresher to overcome new obstacles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We just had to deal with that with the real estate industry with this whole like NAR lawsuit that happened last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, I get that completely. What's a common misconception that you feel people have about new construction?
So many. I feel like people just need to come with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I mean, I get it. It's you're building, and there's so much, like he said, she said. There's also so many builders in Houston that it can get a little overwhelming, especially if there's like not the nicest people saying stuff about other people and whatnot, and then just people have misconceptions, um, and people being like, "Oh, I heard the quality is not good," or I heard, and honestly, mainly is just in regards to the construction. A lot of people are kind of scared, and some people honestly might have no idea, and they just say because they've heard it from other people, or some people have had bad experiences. But I would say that's mainly that, just people thinking that but they throw it out so loosely nowadays,
Yeah.
like the quality, like and some people don't even know what they mean,
Exactly.
And I mean, I don't blame them, and it's not something that if I wasn't in this industry, I don't know if I would understand it.
Right.
But I mean, I'm always happy to like sit down and discuss in detail if anyone has any questions when it comes to that. Or we're very transparent here with DRB, and we want to make sure that everyone that comes to our door feels comfortable and not like rushed or confused
Right.
with our product and our process.
Right. I like that you said that you guys are transparent. And then, yeah, people will just get stuck on a topic and just believe it as the truth. So they have like so many stigmas that like, new construction, the build quality is poor when it's actually like pretty great, um, or like we'll take the time with builders to adjust or to address like anything that they've been, called in the media for lately. So I think our very first interview was with DR Horton, and they were going through their major lawsuit with
They're
like
always
the
going through
escrow and
lawsuits,
everything. Yeah, yeah. But there was one specific one we were able to address and help some people kind of alleviate the thoughts behind it and what actually happened. But sadly, like you get one bad sales rep who does something
Yeah.
that's not ideal.
One stressed out prospect,
Right.
right?
Right. That has some kind of reach and stuff gets blown out of proportion.
And I mean, unfortunately, like I mean, it's life, right? Sometimes like things will happen whether you're the greatest builder, like us, no, just kidding,
Yeah.
or not the greatest builder or whatnot. Like we're only human, right?
Yeah.
So things could happen. Maybe there could be some mistakes or whatnot. It's not ideal, but that one time could really taint that builder's out or someone's view on a builder or
Right.
whatnot. So even if it was like not even in the same state,
Right.
So like I think like with DR, I had seen like something had happened like in a different state, and like I had some people like sending me like the issue, and I'm like, okay, literally it's just one person.
Right.
And I'm not saying like, but I'm like, okay, it's one person, and it's not even here.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why like rumors start.
Right. Yeah, they don't represent you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's one decision that you felt like changed the trajectory of your business and like really helped you out?
I think transitioning from volume sales into something more, I guess, like the semi-custom side of new construction. I mean, it was great, the volume sales aspect, just because you learn to be a little bit more patient, and that's something that I kind of lack a little bit.
Yeah.
But also you learn a lot, right? Because it's very fast. But I think just transitioning, just like not just, but mainly like or half and half semi-custom and inventory rather than just pure inventory has definitely been a huge game changer. It allows me to focus more on all of my buyers, because with volume sales, it's hard to keep up, right?
Right.
So I feel like some things could fall through the cracks. And the last thing that I would want is for someone that's purchasing a home with me or with anyone to be kind of like left behind.
Right. No, that's great that you guys have that balance because if like, you have 10 buyers, but 7 of them want to do, an inventory, but 3 want to do customs, like well, you only have accessibility now to 7 buyers because you don't offer both. But I mean, you offer both, so you can,
Right.
just
Or even if
appeal to
like
more people.
I only offered, but even if I had like all these buyers that want that, I guess and that's also a great point. But it's also the fact that you can like if you're dealing with like let's say if you had like 20 people on your backlog. So I like updating my buyers, right, with like at least weekly. Some of it's more like, or if there's any issues, like staying on top of things. But when you have so much to deal with, it's very hard to give the best. And some people probably don't even care, But
Right.
for me, it's just I wanted to make sure that I'm giving the same amount of, I guess, effort and work to all of my clients. But yeah, definitely being able to offer the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And amazing service.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, you're obviously focused on like your quality of service and then you have accessibility to more products. So it does sound like you're one of the best options that,
The best.
you are the best
Greatest.
option. Confident. I love it. So what was the biggest obstacle or challenge that you faced when you first got into new construction sales?
I think maybe I'm not the most patient person, or I mean, I'm way better now. But when I first started, I still always wanted to help people, like I generally did, but I wasn't as patient, like taking the time to do everything or even being patient with sales, like I had to like learn how to be patient, like learning someone's needs and wants, right? Building that rapport, or being patient if it's December or if it's a typically lower month for real estate. So I would kind of get distracted from my goals because I would be so focused on going on to the next thing or when's the next thing happening rather than taking the time to, I guess, either learn my buyers' whatever needs or wait and see what's happening with the market, or trying to make myself useful in other things rather than just being stuck because I'm so impatient and things are not going my way kind of.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, some things can go fast, but a lot of times, like, things take time with real estate, right?
Yeah.
Like, you meet someone, sometimes they might buy that same day. Sometimes it might take a couple weeks. Sometimes it might be months. Sometimes they might come back in a year. You
Right.
never know. So it's just kind of like being open to that. Even with like the market, right? It might be great this week and then next week is kind of dead. So just I think maybe like patience was a little bit of roadblock for some
Yeah.
time when I first
No,
started.
I mean, as you were saying that, I mean, the first two things that jumped to my mind was like patience with the process and then just stay positive.
Mhm.
You have a very like positive energy about you.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Yeah.
you have to stay like
Try to, right? We
optimistic,
try to, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're having the worst day where you're like, good
Right.
morning.
Right.
And
Well,
it
yeah,
helps though. I will say, if
it
I'm having
does.
like a bad day or like my stomach hurts or I have a head or whatever it is, right? Or I'm
Yeah.
annoyed. But if you're just smiling, maybe that's why I love new home sales, because
Right.
it doesn't give me time to be in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Because then I'll have people come in. I'm like, oh, hi,
Yeah.
welcome.
Well, then you realize you don't have to be in a bad mood.
True,
You can
true,
change
true,
it,
true. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
just be happy. So, what's the most creative marketing tactic that you've tried out so far?
Most creative. I can't think of one in particular, so maybe I haven't done something that great. So you're gonna have to give me
Yeah.
some input. We'll have to collaborate on some other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
I
definitely down
tried
for
to,
that.
but I was saying like I get so like fixed with like little things. But yeah, anything like big marketing, I don't know if I've done
Mhm.
something like
Or
big.
like Instagram post or something like that.
I try and I'm pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty good. But then I want it to be perfect. So then
Yeah.
it takes me hours. So then like after spending hours on the phone or with people or showing or writing contracts or whatnot, like that those 2-3 hours of me editing this one video that
Yeah.
last minute, not even, I just don't have time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
The
I get
editing is a
super
big
annoyed and
learning
then I'll
curve.
start editing more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'm like, my eyes hurt.
Yeah. I gotta get some blue light glasses, trust me.
Yeah. And then I try to find like softwares or like things that will just do it for me,
Yep.
but they don't.
Yep.
There's like you have like your AI stuff, but it's still not like no. So
Yeah.
like I have to go in like no.
Yeah.
So you'll have to help me with that.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah. We'll get you on CapCut.
I have it. It's
Yeah.
great, but
No, it was it was a really big learning curve when I started doing the editing, and eventually I'm going to outsource that as well.
yeah,
Because then we can focus more time on
for
creating
sure.
the content
It is
versus
a pretty nice feeling though when you like started and then like
oh
the end
yeah,
result. It's like
oh
I have
some of
this
the
cool video. I'll show it to you guys. Well, I
yeah
think it's cool,
yeah
but I'll
oh no
still
I go
myself.
back and rewatch my videos all the time because I'm
Me
like
too.
I made that. What's up?
Yeah, I was like, and I was saying to my friends, I was like, go like it.
Yeah,
I was like, isn't this cool? They're like, oh, you did. I'm like, yep, that's
right,
me.
right,
But then I see like the professionals ones, and I'm like, well, it's not that
yeah. So it could be something as small as like knowing to like keep that optimistic mindset, but what is the smallest change that you would tell people to make that would make the biggest impact? Not just in their lives, like professionally, but also like what do you think is something that
No,
you've
of course.
implemented?
I think like a mix of being open to change and wanting to improve.
Hmm.
That's the biggest thing because all right, and maybe wanting to improve goes in hand with change, but just being open to that because anything in work, life, personal, whatever, day to day, like just being open to any little changes or any improvements. But yeah, I think like a day, just like a day today, what change or
Yeah,
thing.
like small change in your life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just like being open, like having a positive outlook, I guess to change or to anything. I guess just kind of how we were saying, like even if you're having a bad day. Yeah, that's a perfect example. Like, if you're having a bad day and just try to have a positive outlook. And then I forget that I was having a bad day, and maybe I never was having a bad day. It's like Inception, right?
Right, right.
So I think that would be one of like my advice for people. I mean, it works with me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like ignore if you have something going on, but
yeah, don't be delusional.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or don't get too, but also don't get too fixated in like the small things.
Sure. Have you ever faced burnout since you've been in sales?
If someone hasn't, I need to know what they're doing,
Right.
what they're taking, because for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when I was like in like more volume sales.
Yeah.
Just because never stop. But I also love working, and my mind is always go, go, go.
Sure.
So sometimes it's my fault. But I have learned, and I know not everyone believes it because I used to not believe it, but taking time off taking time off to do nothing. Like go on your trips, travel, whatever. But honestly, if I just take a day and I'm like just doing the bare minimum, like at home type of thing,
Yeah.
it helps
Definitely.
a lot than just trying to work every day to get a deal.
Definitely.
You know, for me.
Yeah, it just breaks up the monotony a little bit.
Because it's cool, but then it's gonna catch up, and then it's gonna take some time for you to recoup from all those
Definitely.
things you've been ignoring.
What do you think that people kind of waste the most time on, like salespeople, or
Their phones.
Yeah.
That's not business.
they're just like doom scrolling on TikTok and everything?
Yeah.
or-
And maybe that's probably just in general,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I would challenge most people to look at their phone usage. If you're using your phone for work, like actually, different story.
Mhm.
But, if you're supposed to be on a computer for work or you're supposed to be out in the field, I would challenge people to look at their phone usage and see
Yeah.
how much time it's really taking.
And honestly, I would actually like to know for sure or more certainty because I don't understand for let's say someone that is not doing very well right now, like not financially, sorry,
Mentally.
performance
Oh,
wise.
sure,
Like
sure,
they're
sure,
not
yeah.
maybe not selling much or whatnot, but they don't have they post like me on social media once every 2 weeks or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's like what are you doing and you're not seeing traffic, like what do you do for 9 hours
Right.
or however long you're at your office, right? It's like,
Yeah, print out our productivity tracker or something.
yeah, like, or maybe if it's not the phone, maybe it's just like not very productive because there's so much that you can do, you know, people just sit there and like, I mean, I'm not saying like work all the time, but I mean, if you want to call a friend, relax a little bit while you're work, I mean, it's fine, right? Like, or whatnot, or you can still be doing work while you're doing that.
Right.
But I think people maybe they're just lazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, I mean, you can say it. That's fine.
So if you're one of those people.
Yeah. What would you do differently? Like if you could go back to your former self, like when you first started off 7 years ago, what is one thing you would do differently compared to now? Like if you could go back and shake yourself
Imagine
and
I would be like
"Do
the
this,"
best like salesperson.
Yeah.
Like right. I mean, not that I know it all now, but when I first started, everything was so new that if I had like this experience back then, I would be like
So you think
the
maybe
queen of new home sales.
Right. So do you think like maybe like confidence was tied to that a little bit, just because like
I don't even necessarily the confidence. I think, or maybe it was because I don't think I
like the
didn't.
confidence, like the knowledge aspect.
Yeah, definitely like the knowledge for sure, and I think the knowledge for sure, like the understanding, the industry feeling. Yeah, you said it.
Yeah.
I was like, no, not that. I'm like, no, actually,
Right.
that's it.
So I mean, I think this personally, like when you're actually going through like sales training or something, like most people just try to click through it, but it's like the more attention that you really give it.
I would still click through it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not like even back then, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't learn like that.
So
Like,
that's
like clicking on a slideshow, like I could we can role play all day if you want, but I'm more like hands-on than like sitting in a computer and like.
Yeah.
like just watching slides.
Right.
Like I always try to like have 5 different screens open.
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't do this at home. No, but I think but I mean if it was like, because it's not like I never paid attention or not cared, I just didn't know because I was newer.
Right.
But and not that I don't like trainings. I'm all for like continuous improvement. Just there's certain types of trainings that are not for everyone, right?
Not productive. You know, just like me. I learn more with video.
Yeah, and some people like sitting there and like reading a 3-hour like PowerPoint, right? For me, I'm like
one of those people.
I cannot.
Yeah. No, I'd rather pop on a podcast or
or like if there's like Spark Notes and I can just get the main points, like rather than like I don't know if Spark Notes is still a thing, but it was a thing when I was younger.
Right. All right. So we covered knowledge, we covered training, we covered different learning styles. What is another piece of advice that you would give aspiring salespeople?
It's gonna sound super cliche, but if you really want to pursue a career in sales, just don't give up, because it could feel easy to give up in the beginning just because things are not gonna happen from one day to another. You're not gonna. I mean, and if you do, that's amazing. But most times than not, you're not gonna get 1,000 sales your first week type of thing. But it's a beautiful like journey, I guess, to go through a new home sales career. But yeah, just staying positive and not giving up when things get tough, because trust me, things can get tough.
Oh yeah.
But they can also get pretty pretty great.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a better word than great.
Yeah. No, there's a life of abundance on the other side of the struggle.
Multiple lives.
Yeah.
In one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Good deal. You got anything else for us? Any closing notes?
No, I think
if you could tell agents one thing, if you could look at that camera right now and be like, answer your phone. What's one
How
thing
many deals are we going to close?
There we go. I love it. Cool. Well, thank you so much again.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure.
I love this.
You guys are great.
And I look forward to working with you.
We need to start working together.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.